Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Perfect slow-smoked Southern-style smoked sausage made from only the finest ingredients. Made in Mobile. Authentic Southern smoked sausage, andouille, red hots, garlic red hots, and garlic bologna. Hall's is also your source for Smithfield ribs, fresh-cut steaks, fresh and smoked pork chops, Ziegler products, and much more.
People in the know. They are the dynamic duo of dining. It's a wine and food show, Stu. It's a food and wine show, trust me. Look right here, it's Sip and Chew. It's wine and food. Because chew rhymes with stew. That's the only reason. Glorified fry cook and grape killer. Now it's time to Sip and Chew with Mike and Stu on FM Talk 1065.
Happy Memorial Day, Michael Giuseppe Bailey.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Happy Memorial Day Eve.
Yes. And
Memorial Eve.
we hope y'all all have a very safe. We here at the Sip and Chew Show wish that y'all have a safe Memorial Day weekend and day. And please don't forget why we have Memorial Day. And for those who can't be with us because they gave everything they had.
So that we could barbecue. Basically.
Close.
Yeah.
All that.
So that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have.
The freedoms, absolutely. The freedoms. So happy Memorial Day, everyone.
Everybody, everywhere.
Everywhere. So anyway, it's been mostly a beautiful week all week this week.
It has been.
See how I used all that word several times. So,
Yeah.
So
He's recycling, y'all.
I'm a recycler, by the way, actually. So but anywho, yeah, happy Memorial Day. And I just hope we can have a great summer this an eventless summer this summer. And
we
maybe
got
a little rain shower.
We got an El Nino this year, right? El Ninos kill hurricanes on the Gulf. They're good for us because
they enhanced them.
I think that's El Nino.
Nino.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Nino because it peaks around Christmas time. And El Nino was because they needed an opposite. but I think it is the El Nino that beats them down because you've got a strong wind going west to east, and the storms are moving east.
So
to
is
west.
El Nino female and El Nino is male?
El Nino means the child, male child, and El Nino and La Nina, I guess. Is really La Nina is the girl child.
I used to sell a wine a long time ago. One was called El Nina and La Nina, and it was male wine, female wine. Just basically is what they were saying.
How do you tell the grapes apart?
The berries. I don't know.
The male ones are always watching sports.
Anyway,
So there's that.
we don't sell that wine anymore.
So Mike wants to chatter throughout this show about cooking meat over fire.
Yeah.
So if y'all got any suggestions or questions or anything, feel free to chime on in. 251-343-0106. We're not going to commercial, Mike. I was just giving extra.
We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear what you're going to grill. But it's a good segue to go into it. And by the way, today happens to be, now I don't get this.
You don't?
Well, today, first of all, it's National Brisket Day. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Love brisket.
Yeah.
I got to wear that, and pork belly is all I want.
Everybody's like, everything else just too diet.
And maybe some duck.
Yeah.
But today is National Hamburger Day, and today is National Beef Burger Day. Do you know the difference between the two? But National Hamburger Day and National Beef Burger Day?
Yeah, there's two different organizations sponsored it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But that just blew. I'm like, what?
But burger, more generically, ground meat.
Yeah.
Not necessarily ground beef. Because I was thinking on the way here,
Could be.
I did, at Lucky, when I would do the burger of the week, for New Year's, the first 2 weeks, I ran the Resolution Burger, which was actually ground salmon.
Really?
And it was a low-calorie bread, whole wheat or whole grain. The sauce we put on it was made with a non-fat yogurt base. Just everything out of it was very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
But it did not sell. There'd be 2 or 3 people like, oh, I can't wait for the Resolution Burger. We should bring it back around. Most of the people came in wouldn't try it simply because it was healthy.
And it wasn't beef.
Right. Oh, well, they jumped all over when I did a pork one.
You should have fried it.
Well, the whole point was for the first 2 weeks, you could actually eat healthy at a pub.
Yeah.
And then, come on, then you're off you're just kidding yourself.
I'm not stereotyping, but look at the people going to pubs, okay?
Yeah, well, yeah.
They look like me and you, okay?
Yeah.
But I used to love to get the ground sausage and beef patties. But man, those things just flame so much because I guess the pork,
a lot of fat.
Yeah, a lot of fat. And and you basically cook the fat flavor out of it.
Not really. Did you ever try the breakfast for dinner burger that I did?
Mm-mm.
Steve, that one was a pork sausage patty.
That sounds good.
With bacon mayonnaise.
Bacon mayonnaise?
Bacon flavored mayonnaise called Baconaise. I don't know if they're still in. Yeah, I don't know if they're still in business now, but basically take some Bacos, grind them up, mix it into mayonnaise.
Oh, okay.
You can't just take bacon fat and pour it in there.
You could, but it wouldn't have the same way. You got to have the processed stuff for it to really punch through.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it had an egg on it, sunny side egg. Then we would take tomatoes and grill them, and just have grilled tomatoes on top of it. Little cheddar cheese.
I love grilled tomatoes. I really do.
Yeah.
I like a lot of different things that I didn't care for when I was a kid, but I love having them grilled today.
Spring onions, look for them. And we're a little late in the season, but maybe you can still get them, especially if you're traveling up north. Spring onions, which have a bulb on them about the size of a marble,
right?
A large marble. And then the green thing, split them in half, hit them with a little Italian dressing, throw them on the grill, get a good char on them. It's one of the best things about spring.
I'm not a big carrot guy, but I do like grilled carrots, especially the young ones.
You grill them until they get tender enough to eat, or they still have some bite to them?
Both.
Okay.
Tender on the outside, a little crunch in the middle.
I guess you could blanch them or
but you get them
boil them to get them a bit tender.
You get them with the stalk still on them, but they're young. They're real young carrots.
Yeah.
And where they're smaller and they cook all the way through. But my God, they're delicious. Grilled instead of boiled in water or cooked in a melody of other vegetables. Because every time I got to where I quit buying if it's got, like if I get a frozen pack or something, if it's got carrots, I'm not going to buy it because 75% of the vegetables in there are going to be carrots.
Right.
And
they're healthy.
I know, but really it may have watercress, chestnuts in there. And
carrots get the weight up too.
Huh?
Inside the bag, they get the weight of the bag.
I guess so.
Because they're much more cheap. They're cheap because they're dense and they get the weight up.
Mm-hmm.
So is that why they have like bags full of the peppers and all the others? They're more of a lightweight type of, and then you have, like he said, Mike said, all these carrots in there. Yeah, it's like you're over.
Yeah, so the weight of it because they're going for a 1 pound bag, and if they have a bunch of carrots in there, they don't have to put a bunch of anything else in there.
Well, that's just wrong.
Oh. So you notice how when you go to the grocery store and you buy the little plastic container full of berries and everything. By the time you get into the middle part, they're starting to run. They're not. It's not by the time you get to the middle part, they are told
they're already there.
Pack the fresh ones on the bottom, fresh ones on the top. Any that are going bad, go ahead and use them. Pack them in the middle.
So we used to do that in the grocery store. You take the dented can and you put it in the back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just get the nice one up front.
What'd you do with the swollen cans?
Same thing. You put them in the back and then
take them out back and shoot them. And these the canisters that you use on the like jet boil stoves when you're camping, when you expel all the gas from them, you're supposed to put a hole in them. You don't want to throw them in the garbage still pressurized because when the garbage can goes, they can blow and become shrapnel. And they say, just take a 2-penny nail and a hammer and just pop a hole in it. I thought, I got a 22 air rifle. I'll make popping the holes in them fun. But real quick, Ben Griffiths has already commented, says Baconaise is still around.
All right.
And Jeremy Boykin says, what's up, boys?
I wonder if Duke's Mayonnaise has a bacon mayonnaise.
I don't know. I actually talked to the guys that came up with Baconaise. When I was at Mars Hill, they sent me some to sponsor, and that's how I got into it. They were from Seattle, Portland area.
Okay.
Which was interesting. Yeah, they had something else that was bacon flavored.
They're not from around here. Huh?
No, they were very nice people. They sent me a gallon jug of Bacon Haze.
Okay.
So I did the baconless BLT for a while at Mars Hill. 251-343-1000.
0106.
There it is.
It's the call in and text in line. We'd love to hear from you today. Tell us what you're cooking.
Tell us howdy do.
These are emails filling your employees' inboxes. Downloads beaming from device to
Remember that?
device.
Huh? Remember them?
And any one of them could be a
Yeah, they were,
cyber attack.
They seem to be doing real well.
Yeah, they are. Those prices are
Is it
incredible.
possible to keep your small business safe? It is with Comcast Business Security Edge. It helps keep your connected devices protected, and you can monitor threat activity in real time. So this security is the last thing you need to worry about. With Comcast Business, advanced security isn't just possible, it's happening.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Call or go online today to learn more. Offer ends 7/23/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments. New 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment installation taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
So,
Hello, Avello.
okay.
Starting May 31st, you can fly Avello Airlines nonstop from Mobile International Airport to Orlando. Fares starting at just $29 one way. You can enjoy the Florida sun with your friends and family. And now, for a limited time, you can take an extra $10 off when you pull the promo code LYBFM10. Book your trip today at AvelloAir.com. That's AvelloAir.com and say hello to Avello from Mobile's most convenient airport.
Happy time. That's right.
I got a
Loaded for all
hamburger
your favorite
over
bars,
sometime,
restaurants, bands, media
and
folks,
your
politicos,
sides
and
option,
just about everything else under the sun during the nomination period of Lanyap's 21st Annual Reader's Choice Award. We've been counting and counting, and now the counting is done. Now through May 28th, we need you to head on over to votenappies.com and start voting again to help us determine the best of the best in such exciting categories as quintessential Pavilion and Baldwinian, cutest cat, and most adorable dog, and a highly coveted best hoo-ha doctor.
Yeah,
All
but
the
if
voting
you
is
do
online
it,
only, so head on over to
it's the healthiest form of
votenappies.com
coffee
and
there is.
get to it. And of course, you'll find all of the usual, unusual news, investigative reporting, commentary, cuisine, sports, and arts and entertainment coverage you've come to expect from your local newspaper. And the new issue is on stands now. So pick up a Lanyap today or head over to lanyapmobile.com and help keep Mobile funded. Happy time. That's right.
Oh my God.
If you're a sportsman and love the great outdoors, you know how important it is to utilize the tips and tricks that really good fishermen and hunters know. That's why sportsman and writer, editor, and photographer John Felsher is sharing his knowledge gathered from a lifetime of learning what works and what doesn't. Listen for the Outdoor Tips Daily on FM Talk 1065. You may become more successful fishing and hunting. Outdoor Tips with John Felsher on FM Talk 1065. To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
That's us.
It is.
Yeah, where did you
Again.
not go for breakfast this morning?
This morning, I did not go to Bob's downtown. That's because I'm having lunch with the family
Right.
in honor of my son's birthday today after the show. So at Aztecas in Devil's Corner.
Another fine local place.
God, yeah, there's a lot of great local places. But we ought to talk about all the local places that everybody needs to go out and support.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's another show.
Yeah.
But
Where is Bob's Downtown Diner for those
it's
that
at
do want to eat?
it's a corner fat ham. Have you seen their TV commercial?
No.
It comes on. I see it on
My
Studio
TV died
10.
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
And I'm just not bothering right now. I just put something on my phone and go work in another
but he's
room.
got a great commercial. I mean, it's a super commercial he had done, and there was one problem with it. I wasn't in it.
Yeah.
So oh well.
Either one of us.
So anyway, yeah.
You should tell them next time. I already got my voiceovers.
Yes,
That's what we're here for. We're here for you, Tony.
that's it. But anyway, and Tony did, and then all the people downtown did a great thing this week. They helped do some fundraisers for the fire and
I saw that.
EMS people, but
First
fine folks over
responder
there.
folks.
First, yes. We made a donation from Bay Paper Company. and gave to them. So they were very appreciative. They needed plates and forks to eat it with. So we provided all that for them. Bay Paper, a fine locally owned company here in Mobile, almost 80 years in business. The only locally owned now paper company in this area.
Really?
Yes, we sure are. Anyway, also Le Bichon Wine and Tapas Bar.
Been there.
Been there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have we're gonna throw another art show at the end of June for Becky. Becky's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
do another art show there June 22nd at Le Bichon on Thursday night. So put that on your calendars and help support her. And you know what? I've been thinking about. I saw that Deborah Hod just posted about getting some bologna sandwich, a garlic bologna sandwich at the Greer store. Or no, maybe it was Piggly Wiggly. Maybe it was both.
Yeah,
And I'm
the
going
Piggly
to-
Wiggly in Saraland has the best selection of Hall's products.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Forest Hill is pretty good too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, that Saraland is right down the road from them.
Yeah.
So it's nothing for them to run them stuff real quick.
Right. So, but I am craving to get me some garlic because I had another.
Just garlic bologna, the smaller one, on some crackers.
I
Or
went
Ritz
in-
crackers.
I went into my favorite bologna sandwich place in Daphne last week,
And
and they were out of bologna.
oh, that's
I said,
bologna.
"That's bologna."
Yeah.
No, we're out of bologna, sir.
And we want to mention Butch Cassidy's Cafe specifically because they pay us to, and secondly, because they are closed tomorrow. So you're going to have to wait till Tuesday to get your now famous Butch burger.
That's it.
Yeah.
So there will be no Monday special, right?
Correct. Correct.
Red beans and rice.
Well,
All right,
technically, it's Memorial Day, not Monday.
Sorry.
I'll stay back over
If
here.
you could see the look on Steve's face,
That was
you
a
just wanna-
funny look.
Yeah,
You
it's
do that
like,
again, Steve?
"Oh,
Let me get my phone out.
Come here, buddy. I'm sorry. You need a puppy? How about an ice cream cone?
We
Now I
could,
sound like Mike when he had his van.
but we could, if it had been yesterday, we could give him a great popsicle. No, that was Friday. Great popsicle day.
Oh,
Forget it.
okay.
It's over our heads.
So now we got to have a day
Okay,
for
now-
each
now it's your
color
turn,
of
Steve.
popsicle.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Well, grape has a great flavor to it, just like banana popsicles.
Okay.
I love them.
Really?
I love banana popsicles, and they're low in calories. Not really, but
Yeah. Low in actual flavor too.
and
Yeah.
I like wild cherry.
Well, let's
grape.
get through some of these posts real quick here.
Okay, let's get.
Ben also chimes back in with Duke's has a bacon and tomato flavor mayo available among many other new
But
ones.
won't you get the tomato flavor anyway when you put a tomato on your tomato sandwich?
What if you're not putting it on a tomato sandwich? What if you're just putting it on a piece of bread and eating it, or a cracker? I'll tell you right now, guilty pleasure: saltines and plain mayonnaise.
You can save money.
Really?
You could save money by not.
I'm learning
I do
so
love.
much
I
about
do
you guys.
love mayonnaise and crackers. Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah,
mayonnaise and crackers, saltine crackers.
yeah.
My god,
That's
that's
a poor
delicious.
people snack, is what that is.
See,
What do we
I'm a
have? We
Peanut
have-
butter, crunchy peanut butter and
Oh,
cracker guy.
peanut butter was too
My
expensive.
mom and I used to sit up late and watch the Ted C. Arnold show. Ted C. Arnold
No one
movies
knows who that.
on Saturday nights back years ago. It didn't come on to 11 o'clock.
God, you're old.
Yeah, I know.
Ben says a cat head mayonnaise sandwich.
Ted C. Arnold Ford Popcorn Theater was the name of it, out of Pensacola. And we used to sit up watching Dracula and
Right.
Bud Out and Lou Costello meet
The
Dracula
Thing.
and all the thing and the Blob and
Yeah.
eating saltine crackers with mayonnaise on them.
Saltine cracker. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
David Hubble chimes in. Happy Memorial Day weekend, gents. I'll probably try to make some of New Orleans yakamain today. Family
Cool.
is requesting it. Got them hooked.
Hey, I was
What is
watching.
that?
Hey, David, I was watching.
Japanese food.
David, I was
Yakamain.
watching
Noodles.
Kevin Belton yesterday on the Create channel, and he was making Merlaton dishes.
Squash.
That's my credit.
Well, it's not like David can answer you.
Yeah, I know.
because
Yeah, he
he's
can. He can.
texting,
Yeah, you can.
but no one would hear it until we read it.
Right. Well, that's what you're.
That's
trying
how
to
the
read.
but he has a texting thing
But if they'll take
because he
something on
just
here-
said he's making yakame.
Okay.
So his hands are busy.
Okay. Did we cover everybody a while ago?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I have a
so I got-
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Now that we've covered everything, I just see on social media this big trend going on with it looks like a soft shell taco, and they're taking a hamburger and they call it a squeezed hamburger or cheeseburger, and they flatten, take it like a corn tortilla, and they put I want to say mayonnaise or sauce, and then they take
Probably bacon tomato mayonnaise
From Duke's,
and then,
official mayonnaise of the South.
of Mexico.
and they take the beef patty, and then they put in like whatever you put into a taco and a cheese, and but it's a hamburger that you fold.
It's weird.
Obviously, yeah.
Now, I remember,
So is it a hard shell and a soft shell together or what?
No, just
Okay.
a soft tortilla, then whatever sauces they're basing on.
Is
and
it a
then they-
round hamburger patty or is it elongated?
No, it's round, and then they just put cheese on top of it. It's like a taco hamburger squeeze is what they call it. I don't know what they call it. I didn't know.
Is it a hamburger or a beef burger?
Looks like yeah, it's a burger.
Burger, yeah.
okay, so
Beef
we've
patty.
got people in the chat asking for what Yakimain is, just like you did.
Okay.
So I went to I gave it a Goog. What comes up here is Yakimain is a type of beef noodle soup found in many Creole restaurants in New Orleans.
Huh.
It also is a type of Chinese wheat noodle. The soup consists of stewed beef and braised broth served on top of noodles and garnished with half a hard-boiled egg, chopped green onions. It sounds like pho from New Orleans,
Okay.
but
So
yeah,
broth-
it's very much Japanese inspired. And if you look at the pictures of it, but it is a New Orleans hangover cure because it's a soup, and all those hangover cures like Menudo and then this Yakimain, and they go, well, it's a hangover cure. It's because you're drinking water, which is what you're missing when you're hungover.
kind of like Alka-Seltzer.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some yikes. There's some pictures of it.
No.
See, looks like something you chopstick, doesn't it?
Yucca man.
Mike gets scared of chopsticks. Mike is not a racist, but his hands are. He cannot operate chopsticks. He don't like
That just means he's uncoordinated.
them.
Well, there's that. See, we went
I don't
to
know. He does okay when it's
when
open
we
in a beer
went
can.
to we went to California in 2018.
19.
Or 19 for the 2018 Taste Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Every doggone restaurant we were going into, you had to have chopsticks. And I told Stu, if we go to one more place,
We went
I'm gonna
to two.
stab you in the neck with chopsticks.
We went to two,
And your next book will be Death by Chopsticks.
but they were back to back. The second one was not the intent. Remember, we were going to go. It's still an Asian influence we're going to do, which is the Viet Asian boiled seafood.
Okay.
It's huge in LA, and what it was is when the Vietnamese landed here on the Gulf Coast, the ones that ended up in Louisiana looked at these crawfish bowls and went, "Wow, what a great idea! Have you ever thought about making that spicy?"
Right.
And the Cajuns went, "Oh, ho, ho, ho," and the Vietnamese went, "Huh, huh, huh."
Let's
And the
see how
next
we
thing
go.
you know, it blew the
Step
doors
that up.
off of them. But they don't stop at crawfish. Yeah, and it's popular here. There's restaurants in town that do it, but
Shrimp,
they're not
yeah.
shrimp, lobster, any kind of seafood they can get. The problem that I'm having with most of the ones around here is they're not using Gulf seafood.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the question you should always ask before you order
Is it
any
Gulf?
seafood. Where did this come from? If they don't know, you don't want to order it.
And not to sound short, sweet, but there's obviously a difference. in
Oh,
both
yeah.
as opposed to
Thank you for setting up the next segment expertly. We will talk about the difference between Gulf Coast seafood and imported seafood.
And what about Alabama wild shrimp? Aren't all shrimp wild?
No, not when they're farm raised. Remember Demetropolis, they
That's
farm raised.
right.
The table water or the water table was too salty for catfish. So they switched over and they farm raised shrimp, which came in handy after the BP Gulf.
Yeah.
makes sense.
651-343-0106 is our call and text line. Hey, we're going to be talking about grilling and stuff like that when we
And
come back.
shrimps.
And shrimps.
Grilled shrimps.
Give us a call or give us a text.
Oh, man, what is the chance, Steve?
This
What is the
WKRG
chance
News
during this
Update
race
is
you can
brought to
find
you
that
by
clip on
Arrow
YouTube of
Exterminators.
Bubba
Stop termites
going
and
down
pests before they attack.
Raiders,
Schedule a free pest
all
inspection
fixing
today.
Forrest
Call
Gump.
888-GO-ARROW
It's
or
gonna be
visit
the look and big see you forget.
arrowexterminators.com. FM Talk 1065, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority, and Dr.
That's
Bill
right.
Williams. Gulf Coast expect sunny skies today with temperatures in the mid-80s this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, lows in the mid-60s. And for Monday, sunny and warmer with high temperatures in the upper 80s. This is meteorologist Dr. Bill Williams for
Well, that's right. He hasn't done this on the
1065.
board yet, have you?
FM Talk 1065, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority.
Hey, it's Sean. I'm here with Joey Mason from Mason Hills Farm. Last cookout. So, Joey, you also have a grand opening sale going on now. So, tell them about this.
Yeah, we're real excited to announce the grand opening of our new USDA inspected processing facility where we process locally sourced pasture-raised beef on site. And we're having our grand opening sale. We're giving 20% off everything on our online store.
Okay, so y'all, this is great beef. I love it from Mason. Now, y'all can get the deal 20% off. So tell folks how to get this 20% off.
Yes, sir. You'd go to our website, masonhillsfarm.com, search through the marketplace. At checkout, you would type in the promo code radio to receive your 20% off. We also offer free delivery on items of $125 or more.
So that's free delivery and
And now, like I was saying, all of the countries have taken off and doing and highlighting something they have locally, which is cool. And the only one you see in Alabama is Alabama, the only SEC school with on-campus sale box.
So they got a Bucky around Auburn, Oklahoma. Okay, I know there's one on 20. Before you get places
Kids
coming
under
off
8
state
years
line.
old, they should always be wearing them. There are certain tips that everyone should be aware of. Know where your fire extinguisher is. Have the key on your arm in case somehow you lose your balance or whatever. All of that can avoid a catastrophe.
We have a great list of this at the website, TobiasComerLaw.com. How can folks find out more about your firm?
Call us at 251-432-5001. They can look at the website and see the stuff we have there. Also send us an email. The email address is listed there.
That's Desi Tobias with Tobias and Comer Law and Law 251, TobiasComerLaw.com.
I'll try to find Jeff
To
Bell.
get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to my guest studio.
You can barbecue it, boil it, broil it, bake it, saute it. They shrimp kebabs, shrimp creole, shrimp gumbo, pan fried, deep fried, stir fried, pineapple shrimp,
I guess there's a few ways you can do shrimp.
coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it.
Yeah, well, they ain't about it really, but anyway. Boy, that's hot.
Yeah, and that's not. Okay, just tips you things that when we were going to break, Steve brought up a fantastic question that is not asked enough.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not investing in tax liens?
Right.
No,
why are you not investing in tax liens? No, what he asked was, what is the big deal about the Gulf shrimp, about the Gulf seafood?
Yeah.
It's twofold. It's a health consideration and it's an economic consideration.
Absolutely.
From an economic consideration, you should spend as much money locally as possible if you want your local economy to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
If you're purchasing millions of dollars a year in seafood that comes from someplace other than the Gulf of Mexico, you're doing hundreds of millions of dollars each year in damage to our local economy.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is the seafood that is imported is horrible. They have no regulations at all in Vietnam, China, these Southeast Asian places where they're aqua farming them. They have them in such dense populations that you could have like a 1 acre pond, Steve, with 1 million shrimp in it.
Okay.
That means they're shoulder to shoulder. I mean, a 1 acre pond is not very big.
Right.
And 1 million shrimp is a lot of shrimp. If any disease starts, it runs rampant. So they load the water up with ammonia, which is not something you need to be eating a lot of. And they use different antiseptics and things like that. All of the chemicals that they use to maintain their health are illegal in the U.S. because they are known carcinogens. With the case of the Vietnamese shrimp, it causes aplastic anemia, which is the same thing that killed Madame Curie when she had radiation poisoning. It's very bad for you. And unfortunately, 80% of the shrimp sold in the U.S. comes from unregulated farms in Asia.
So
Red Lobster has not used.
How's that come through the customs and FDA?
Because the FDA does not inspect imported seafood, just domestic seafood. The USDA does not inspect imported seafood, just domestic seafood. The people that inspect imported seafood is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the organization whose job is to send out publications that say, bring your convention to New Orleans or Las Vegas. They don't know anything about seafood. Right. Under George W. Bush, only 2% of that seafood got inspected. Wow. Under President Obama, it went down to 1%, and it remains at 1% under Trump and now Biden. So it's a nonpartisan thing. Mm-hmm. All of them are on the take. And that's what it comes down to is they're not inspecting it because they know it will fail. They want the tariff money.
And always ask anywhere you go,
where does it come from?
Where does it come from? Any seafood.
Another important one to ask is salmon. There's no such thing as Atlantic salmon. If you see a label that says Atlantic salmon, it's not real. What that is code for farm-raised salmon from Chile, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, is on the Pacific coast of South America.
It is.
Yes, nowhere near the Atlantic Ocean. Walmart lobbied to have Atlantic salmon listed as a specific species, and the FDA listened to them, but the U.S. Fisheries said, no, there's no such thing as Atlantic salmon. Wow. And the salmon that is raised in Chile, to get the pink color we're used to, is given an additive, which I cannot pronounce, but it kind of looks like chrysanthemum, but with a lot of X's and T's with inspect in there.
It's a dye.
Yes, and it dyes the flesh so that it looks pink. Because when you farm raise, they're not out swimming out there. They lose that color. It's why rainbow trout are much paler. They're in the salmon family, but they're in small lakes and rivers, and they don't do a lot of swimming like they do in the ocean. So their flesh color is not as strong. Well, to make the salmon look right, they add this in, and that carcinogen is one of the worst carcinogens known to man.
Cool.
So if you want to eat salmon because you want to eat healthy, you need to make sure it is wild caught, a product of the U.S. Nova Scotia is also good. Scotland is good. Norwegian is good. Not Chile, and it shouldn't say Atlantic salmon.
Right.
Just like when you see whitefish on the menu, they're throwing a curveball by you. There's no such thing as whitefish. It is a generic term for things that aren't tuna and aren't salmon. Anything with white flesh, but it's not a species. And usually when you see it, so if you see whitefish on the menu, ask them what the whitefish is. By law, they're supposed to tell you the species, and what you're normally going to hear is shui. You may hear Pangasius, which is shui. Mm-hmm. What is basa, which is shui. They're all different names for the same fish, which is a Vietnamese catfish raised in the Mekong Delta, which is the most polluted body of water on planet Earth.
There's no shui. I'm going to eat shui.
Yeah. You can't. We had a caller suggest that we have a movement. You can't shui me. Well, here's the problem with that. It's actually pronounced schwai. But everybody in America sees AI and thinks that.
I was about to say it must be an AI.
Yeah. But in Asian languages, an A followed by an I is the I sound. Right. The I by itself does not make the I sound.
They got a different word for everything, don't they?
Yeah. So do the French. Except for rendezvous. The French use the American word for rendezvous.
Oh. Was it a French word?
Yeah. But that is why it is important, Stephen. Thank you for asking that question. Sure. And then we're getting into the seafood season here. Mm-hmm. Shrimping's been, the summer times when the boats go out.
Well, interesting and ironic. Here we are on Memorial Day, and we're going into seafood season, but everybody grills hamburgers and hot dogs.
I wonder how many people are grilling red snapper today.
Yeah. See, there'll be a lot of people locally that'll be grilling fish because we've got it planted. Well, yeah, you
red
get a
grill season started Friday, and I'm sure, boy.
Yeah, and snapper's delicious, and and this comes back to on the issues with our food system, is we have to really regulate the fishing of red snapper and grouper because that's all anybody wants to eat out of the Gulf. And that Gulf is full of hundreds of species of fish that are just as good as those. Triple tail is unbelievable. The two tile, triggerfish, and you've got the tile, you got a black tile and a golden tile. Both of those are delicious. Sheep's head. And, you know, no one served sheep's head until Chris Sherrill started the nuisance group to get people to use lesser known fish. And he started putting sheep's head on the menu down at Floribama, which, you know, has 5 million visitors a year. And it kind of spread all the way down the Gulf Coast. Now sheep's head's expensive, but it's taken the pressure off of red snapper. It's taken the pressure off of grouper.
I saw this past week that the divers in Florida, they had a big rodeo of sorts.
With was it lobster?
No,
lobster
they went diving where you have to spear these things.
Oh, spearfish.
What's that fish?
Lionfish?
Lionfish. They had the biggest haul of lionfish they've ever caught, ever.
Good. Get them all out of there.
Yeah. And,
that's an invasive species that has no natural predator.
Yeah.
And they destroy fisheries where young fish come up. They go and destroy them, eat all the young fish, and they can wipe out all the stuff we want.
They won't bite a hook, so you got to go down there and spear them.
Yeah.
Gig them, whatever.
Yeah. You got to know how to clean them as well because they have a toxin on their dorsal fin. And our friend Chris Sherrill that we just spoke of, one of his things that made him famous back when he cared about that was he would clean a lionfish blindfolded. Yeah. Chris is a dude. he and his wife moved back up to Birmingham.
Have a cape on him? Does he walk around with a cape? I mean,
not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, he's from Eufaula, Alabama. A country boy can survive, apparently. Yeah,
but he used to cook for the Robertson family.
Yeah.
Duck Dynasty. They'd come down. Okay. They have condos down at the beach, and he would cook for them, and also he would go hunting on their property with them, and him and I think him and Jess are pretty good friends. Yeah. They love metal detecting.
So we had a cool little week at Fairhope Market. The moment that lasted, where Chris leads over and he goes, "You ever get tired of these?" He shows me his phone, and it's Jess, and he goes, "Hey, brother, we're in Gulf Shores, and we need a charter. You know anybody?" And I said, "I know what you mean." And I leaned over, and I had a text from Simon Majumdar about coming on the show. And it was just a neat little thing that he and I could connect on.
Yeah.
That a lot of other people would look at it like that, and I said, it's neat. It's neat cool when I get a text message that says Bobby Flay in it, or something like that. They don't happen as often anymore because I'm not doing the interviews that I used to.
So going
print, but
as a segue, going from all the shrimp.
Panini Pete's got a segue.
Yeah, I know. By the way, he finally opened up the waterfront. It's finally open, folks. So
I've heard,
go in there and support
I've heard it's really good, but people are complaining because he doesn't have tartar sauce. Folks, grow up.
I know.
Not all. You know what seafood needs tartar sauce? Bad seafood. Mrs. Gordon's needs tartar sauce.
Let me tell you.
But good seafood just needs seafood.
I'm not going to say who it was because he's a friend of mine, but somebody posted on Facebook, said, which sauce do you prefer, A1 or 57? I was shocked. I was shocked. Yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. But using that segue, talking about seafood, we're in the grilling season now.
Yeah. And David Hubble said, watch for Chinese crawfish too.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not good. They cause elephantitis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does that mean you swell up or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Turn into the elephant man.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. But
yeah. But so yeah, that's the Chinese crawfish have, I don't know if it's a parasite or a bacteria or what, but it can cause elephantitis of your kibbles and bits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
right out of that grilling.
I'm gonna ask for my crawfish. Where does crawfish come from? Anyway, all right. When we come back, we're gonna talk. We got about a minute left, but we're gonna talk about some grilling. I like to grill shrimp on the grill.
And romaine lettuce.
Oh my God, yeah. I love grilled romaine salad.
Yeah, grilled Caesar salad.
Caesar salad. Love grilled Caesar.
You just take the whole
head,
put it on the grill, get some char marks, and pour your Caesar dressing.
Or you can cut it in half, and that way you can do
butterfly. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really good.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Especially with some duck on it.
Char is a flavor. Char is a flavor if handled right. It's what makes a New York style pizza great with that char on the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
the only
what.
thing I've grilled is like a chicken, take a Jamaican jerk sauce, put it into aluminum foil, chunk the chicken and grill it for like a half hour. Oh man.
Yeah, and that works too.
I want to get my smoker out now. I'm smoking some oysters.
We're making some folks hungry. I think that's the whole idea.
And some beef ribs.
And some beef ribs.
I love beef
I went
ribs.
to town with some beef ribs in Texas one time. They were not happy with me. It was all you could eat.
251-343-0106 is the call-in, text, and line, or you can hit us up on Facebook
Or YouTube.
or YouTube
Yeah,
or Twitter or the Twitter.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Hello, this is Brad Sullivan inviting men of Mobile to join me for our 15th annual Empower Men's Conference coming up June 8th through 10th with the theme Lead, Follow, or Get Out of the Way. Don't miss the food, fun, and ministry of this weekend as men gather from various states to be empowered by God's Word and Spirit. Registration is only $25 per person and includes access to 3 services, free service meals, and activities. The conference will be held at Surge Church. More information and to register, log on to bradsullivan.org. I can't wait to see you in June.
Are you doing the
Help local patients mask out cancer at an evening of dinner, dancing, and drinks at the 4th Annual ACCS Masquerade Ball, Saturday, June 10th. Dance to the music of Mr. Big and the Rhythm Sisters and take a chance of winning a brand new golf cart in the live auction, all while supporting local cancer patients in treatment. Come party with a purpose at the 4th Annual Anchor Cross Cancer Foundation Masquerade Ball, June 10th from 6 to 10 at the Daphne Civic Center, presented by Heart Doctor. Tickets on sale now at anchorcrossfoundation.org.
Did you know you may be at risk of vision loss even if you're not experiencing physical symptoms? Heritage for the Blind recommends you prevent blindness by scheduling a vision screening today.
If you own an old or unwanted car, donate it today to Heritage for the Blind. Just call 1-800-715-2203. Pick up this free and your donation is tax deductible. Heritage for the Blind is an IRS-recognized nonprofit organization that helps promote eye health and aids the blind and visually impaired. They accept cars, vans, and trucks. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not, it will be towed away for free. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll get a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-715-2203. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Call now 1-800-715-2203. That's 1-800-715-2203.
Hello again, friends. I'm Randy Bergen, inviting you to join me, Coach Rick Cleveland, and Coach Mark Lassiter for the Prep Sports Report presented by Alpha. And we'll be coming to you live from the Eastern Shore Toyota and Hyundai Studios for 2 hours, beginning at 8 a.m. every Saturday morning. We'll visit with coaches, athletes, administrators, and more as we'll keep you up to date on all things prep along the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, Florida, and the state of Alabama. Wake up with the Prep Sports Report team this Saturday morning starting at 8 a.m. right here on FM Talk 106.5.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Michael, I want to say thank you. To who? Well, to a number of people. To Tony Sawyer and the fine folks down at Bob's Downtown Diner. Everything they do for our community and everything they do for our bellies.
Noted.
Right there at the corner of Fat and Happy. I want to say thank you to fine people at Label Sean Wine and Tapas Bar.
Why?
Why? To give people a sophisticated yet not stuffy place where you can go in if you have a love of wine and not have to worry about screaming youngins or some dude saying his Miller Lite is flat. You know, you can segment off for a little sophistication, what I say.
And they had Spanish guitar last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Flamenco.
Some style of that, yeah.
And for that as well. Plus, Dave's famous pimento cheese.
Absolutely.
I definitely want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats because they've been on this ride with us a long time.
America.
Yeah.
They're American.
Yeah. And they do venison sausage. Y'all go get some.
Yes.
Yeah.
And garlic bologna.
Yeah. And we want to thank the fine folks down at Butch Cassidy's Cafe in the heart of the Floshell District. The mayor of Floshell himself, Roy Sawyer. Sewer. I know my whole tongue got twisted up over my raspberry lemonade. It's too tart.
Hey, look, and all these folks are nominated for the Nappy Awards.
Nappy Awards.
Today is the last day. So today is the last day you have to vote me and Stu as the most famous DJs,
donut jockeys
ever in the world, in the United States, in Mobile especially.
We're the world champions of Mobile.
So they don't vote for any other radio people. Vote for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Save your vote for us. Yeah. And we do have some birthdays today.
Birthdays?
Yes. Tomorrow is Danny Lifford's birthday. We all know Danny Lifford. He's part of this radio station.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
He's part of the FM Talk 106.5 family.
Yes, he is. Happy birthday, Danny.
Yep.
Richie Gambino, Pizzeria Delfino.
The big meatball himself.
Yes. I like that. The big meatball, the big provolone himself. Richie Gambino.
What a meatballs.
And we all know Joe Eamer. Everybody knows Joe Eamer.
Good old Joe Eamer. Wisconsin transplant.
The cheesehead. He's a cheesehead.
Loves his Packers.
But he loves living down here.
He does. Beautiful family that he and his wife Katie have raised.
And him and Chelsea have a great show.
Yeah, they do.
They wonderful show.
What is it now? Like 12 hours long?
Yeah, just about the whole day. Yeah.
They stop for 1 hour
the
to
Joe
do
and Chelsea
American Idol or something.
Yeah, the Joe and Chelsea show. And then the other day was Stevie Watford's birthday. He owns Stevie's Kitchen.
Happy birthday, Stevie.
Also, he is opening up Whistle Stop on Florida Street.
Oh, he's reopening that?
Yeah, he's taking it over, and he's hoped to be open soon. So there will be a great place, another great locally owned business to go support.
Not quite in Floshell, but it is Floshell adjacent.
Absolutely. Yeah. It right there.
Florida Imogene.
Yeah. Imogene. Between
Yeah.
Florida and Imogene, by the railroad tracks.
Well, so you mentioned something off the air when we were in the break. Grilling salad, just grilling what now?
Yeah, grilled romaine.
Grilled romaine
Caesar
lettuce.
salad.
Grilled Caesar salad, yes. And I've had it I fix it at home.
Okay.
And
because it's easy.
It's very easy. And you just grab you a bag of the heart of romaine and then you can chop it up. You know, something put your dressing over it. I have to use the diet.
Yeah.
Stuff, but that's still good.
Doesn't it fall through the grill though?
I will tell you,
you add that on after you grill it, and then
the Newman's Own White Caesar, very good. Go with that.
Well, I've got some that I've been buying this, and you can buy it at Greer's or at Walmart.
Is it the yogurt based? There's a yogurt based Caesar.
It may be,
really
but
good too. And I've had one that was avocado oil based. It was delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are ways to do Caesar now that aren't too bad. Pretty much, if a dressing is creamy, it ain't good for you. It can say fat-free ranch all at once.
It tastes good. Right. Good though. But you just cut your salad like you want to in long ways. Okay. You know, you do it halves or quarters or do it whole.
Yeah, if you get those hearts too, they're small enough that
drizzle some olive oil on it. All right, and then salt and pepper. That's all you need. Salt and pepper. Put it on the grill, get some char on it, and gets lippy, and then put it on your plate.
Lippy.
Little lippy, yeah. You still want some crunch to it. And then fix it up, put it on your plate, and then you can cut it as you eat it, or you can go ahead and cut it up before you.
I treat it like a steak.
Any extra cheese or anything
a little
like
Parmesan
that.
on
little Parmesan cheese and your dressing and some croutons if you want it.
Just load it up, get all the other stuff back on it.
But if you're trying to be healthy, no croutons.
Right. Yeah.
No. And you got enough crunch with the romaine. You really don't need the
absolutely
doing the crunch. Throw on some cherry tomatoes on there.
Some of the croutons scratch the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like a hot pocket conversion. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, about a year ago, in fact, I'd say exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
I shot one of the very first episodes of Delta Safari on Memorial Day weekend by going out to Battleship Park.
Yeah.
And I did a tour and a hike around Battleship Memorial Park. I put it out in December. But on our Facebook page right now for Sip and Chew and at the Delta Safari page, there is a link so that you can go and check it out. This is a great holiday to visit Memorial Park because it's Memorial Day. See, they're all in the title together.
How about that correlation?
Yeah. And then afterwards, I went across the street to R&R Seafood and had myself some gator tacos. Gator tacos with mango salsa. Ooh. Terrific. And they
First
had
time I ever had gator meat was when I came to Pensacola years and years ago. Gator on a stick. Oh, dude.
I love gator sausage. And I'm a big fan of Gator. And Bill Finch, you know him, don't you, Steve?
Yeah, I've heard him.
He tells me that the health-wise, the only issue with Gator is the same thing as with any large, like tuna.
Mhm.
It's a large predatory creature that eats a lot of smaller creatures, so it has a mercury buildup. So you don't want to eat it. I think tuna, the recommendation, unless it's cheap canned tuna, which is perfectly fine, oddly enough, only like once a week. The albacore that you love, once a week.
Well, that's plenty.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get kind of like anything else. You're just like,
Yeah. But I love tuna, and it is, and you don't have to cook it. Just give me some sashimi tuna and some nice soy sauce, and I'm happy.
Grill it.
Grilled tuna, but keep it medium rare, y'all.
Yeah.
Medium rare. You ruin tuna when you go past medium rare. It's a totally different taste.
Salmon.
I did a
tuna.
I did a salad with some tuna that I lightly seared, barely seared. Sliced it thin, because a buddy of mine just loves fish. I said, dude, you've been eating tuna out of a can your entire life. This is what tuna is supposed to be. And he's eating. He goes, dude, this tastes like steak. I said, right, it's red flesh.
Yeah.
You treat it just like you would a steak. And I said, salmon and tuna both. I mean, if I get it, if you just can't eat something like that,
right,
go ahead and ruin it. Because it's still healthy, because it's still good for you to eat the salmon and the tuna. But really, medium rare on both of those is exactly perfect. It's as healthy as it's going to get, because the number one cause of colon cancer, Steve, is well done red meat.
I knew that.
Yeah. Medium rare is much healthier.
I'm getting in that age where I have to watch for those things. Right, Mike?
Mike, we got less than a minute, so if they got a comment, oh well.
Yeah. Well, folks, we hope you have a safe, that's important, a safe Memorial Day. Remember what Memorial Day is about. It's about our veterans that have lost their lives, the ones that have lost their life and gave it all so we can enjoy this holiday and all holidays that we have the pleasure of celebrating, because not everybody gets to do this, and
I totally should have had Home Free, God Bless the USA with Lee Greenwood queued up.
Oh well,
it is fantastic.
We'll do it for the 4th of July.
Steve's not used to my Home Free obsession.
That's it. Get out there, support local, be local, buy local, and better than anything else, be sure to
provolone. It says right there on the shirt.
Losing weight, well, outspeed eating sun.